I figured it might be kind of cool to take you around one of my days off. I just seen off my partner. Unfortunately, ever since he got a new job, there is one day that he works that I don't, and one day that I work that he doesn't. And so it is kind of our schedules are mismatched, but we still have one day off together. There was a period of time a few years ago where we had no days off together, and that was absolutely the worst. So this is not that bad. I start my day off, I just chill and hang out with my partner, and we catch up, and he has coffee, I have tea. What am I drinking these days? I'm not supposed to be having caffeine because at the ripe old age of 33, my ass has a blood pressure of like 140 over 100. The fuck? Like, why? But I've got matcha that I'm drinking out of a beautiful stoneware that my child's grandma made. So I drink a matcha soy latte because apparently I'm at a place in my life where matcha soy latte happens. Yeah, try explaining that to me at the liquor store 15 years ago. But I also take this. I take in the mornings this shit. So these are L-methylfolate plus methyl B12 drops. They're basically a macro dose of folate plus methylcobalamin. I am not a chemist. I'm sorry. Folate and vitamin B12. Just macro dosing. Anything your body don't want, the kidneys piss it out. I take this because I have the MTHFR variant genetically. What that genetic variant does is it makes your body have a more difficult time converting folic acid to folate, which can reduce the efficacy of some medications, meaning the medications that I take for my bipolar disorder, the efficacy is reduced because of that mutation. And so my psychiatrist recommended I start taking methylfolate. I want to make very clear, I am being recommended to take this by a medical professional who has had years of training and experience. Do not take this just because you saw some random bitch on YouTube taking this. Do not put things in your body just because you see random people on YouTube taking them. Don't do that. Like, I got my genes tested and I know that I have that mutation, and then a medical professional told me, hey, take this. And it's working out great for me. I'm pretty stoked for it. But do that route. I am so sick of seeing people going the route of like influencer medicine culture and influencer wellness culture. Like, I've been seeing more you want to talk about folic acid. I've been seeing more videos recently, like on TikTok, where influencers, right, those like health and wellness influencers whose like whole house is beige and shit and the walls are clean and whatever, they're recommending against taking folic acid in pregnancy, which, if you don't know, you need folic acid in pregnancy and folate more than ever to prevent your baby from having conditions of the neural tube, i.e. the brain and spine. Why are they doing that? And I really don't want anybody to listen to them. Fortunately, there are also a lot of actual physicians going on TikTok and telling people, hey, don't do that. Don't listen to them. So that's good. Anyway, monologue over. What I am trying to say is that just because you see me taking a supplement, or anybody else on YouTube or TikTok taking a supplement, doesn't mean that you should also take that supplement. I take 2 supplements, both of which were recommended to me by practicing physicians. So thank you for listening to that. Anyway, before we get the rest of the day started, I want to, before anything else, put the chicken adobo in the crock pot, because this shit's gonna take a while, and I want to make sure that it is done as soon as possible. That's really the thing about the slow cooker, is that on the one hand, that's how you get the juiciest taste and the most tender taste from definitely your meat, but also from other types of vegetables as well, your potatoes and your carrots, other root vegetables and so forth. But it takes so fucking long, and the whole time it's making the house smell like the food that you're making, and you're just sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting. I have not used bone-in chicken in my crock pot. I have been told that it increases the cook time by about 2 hours. Gonna check with my little thermometer, of course. We'll see. But in the meantime, I'll show you what I'm working with. Okay, so before I cook, I always wipe off the countertops and all of the surfaces that I'm going to be cooking on, including the stove. I do this because I have a cat. I'm just gonna be real with you. If you have a cat and you don't do this, then you're eating cat shit, because your cat is on them countertops. Just saying. And then I got to work making my chicken adobo, which, by the way, do you want the full recipe? Do you want to make some chicken adobo? You can. Just click up in the upper left-hand corner. Go ahead and get started. I did it just for you. It is, for me, breakfast time. I don't know what I'm gonna eat. And then I am going to get my shit together and record a couple of videos while my dude is at work and my kid is at her dad's, and there's no one here to interrupt me. So one thing about me is that for breakfast, I often just find whatever potato product we have and just shovel it onto a plate and into my mouth to justify having drank coffee and tea and shit, instead of actually nourishing myself. So, whatever. Work in progress. Anyway, I get the kitchen kind of put together. Not entirely, but just make it a little bit prettier in there from having cleaned up for dinner. And then I start working on tidying up in our living room. We put, like, blankets and sheets and shit over our couches, 'cause they're old. And we haven't replaced them yet, and at this point I don't even know if we ever fucking will. It's not really a priority of mine. It's still a couch. Fuck it, you know? Like, I don't care. I can still sit on it comfortably, so why would I replace it at this point? That's a bed, actually. You see how that looks like a sectional couch? Yeah, not one. It's an old mattress that I put next to a couch. Anyway, I like to make my bed. Make sure that when I am ready to sleep, it is beautiful. There you go. Okay, so here's our makeup and fit situation. I have got on a, like, pretty beat up Ristotet shirt, classic finish hardcore. If you've been wondering why I always have this going on with my head, it's because my bangs haven't been trimmed in, 7,000 years, and I'm gonna do that this weekend. Makeup, super duper easy makeup. I don't like to do my makeup. Tremor, eyeballs. I prefer to have eyeballs than have stuff on my eyelids. So I just take those little color pop marker things, just dab them on and rub them on my eye and produce color. It smears, it gets that line thing. I don't give a shit. This is what I am. Let's go make some videos now. So this day in particular, I recorded the updates to the Roller Coaster Tycoon series that I'm working on, and I recorded my review of the Heretic Perfume Discovery set. That's why the outfit in those two videos is the same. If you see me wearing the same outfit in my videos, it's because I try to record multiple videos in one day. I do it on my day off, typically when my partner and our child are not home, and I don't really like recording videos, if we're being completely honest. I don't like the way I look, I don't like how I sound, it makes me uncomfortable, but I do it anyway, because I think it's cool to do. All right, now that that's done, it's time to go pick up my kid from being with her dad and do the rest of my day. All right. I have secured one kid. I have secured one me.
You have secured one McDonald's meal.
I have McDonald's the kid, and I took a little bit of break from video stuff, which was good. It was unexpected, but it was good because I haven't driven on the interstate in a while, and I'm gonna need to drive myself to Indianapolis soon. And I have been like really afraid to, so getting some practice driving again on the interstate is a good thing. But we are almost home, getting away from it all, back to comfortable rural Indiana.
Getting away from the heat wave that is currently plaguing our area.
Yeah, the Midwest currently has a heat wave.
It is boiling.
Fuck that.
It is September. It cannot be this hot. It is too late to be hot.
So stupid.
Go back to bed.
Yeah. Back to the corn we go. I'm gonna chill a little bit and then I gotta get to editing. We are about T-minus 30 minutes to Adobo time for lunch. And I am so tired. I'm so tired. I tend to get really tired around halfway through the day. I don't know if it's because caffeine crash out or like an EDS thing or a POTS thing or what. Oh, by the way, I have those. I don't know if I've talked about that yet. I might someday, but yeah. I intended to edit a little bit before lunch. That's not happening. So I was like, okay, I could work on my list of things that I need to have done around the house. That's also too productive. So I just kind of like dissociated into my phone in my chair for the last half hour. I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna play with like my jewelry. Okay, actually, let me ask this. While I'm on the subject, does anyone else on the spectrum like do that for like comfort? Like if you have like a thing that you collect, right? So like obviously I collect like facial jewelry and piercings and stuff for my hardware. Do you just like look at your shit and like organize your shit and sort your shit and be by your shit for like comfort and to recharge? Because I love doing that. I have always done that. I did that when I was a little kid, like with my Hot Wheels cars and stuff and my Bratz dolls. I think I'm gonna go do that with my piercings. And then in half an hour, I'm gonna have chicken adobo. So this is Bae's. It's pretty. I plated his way better than I plated my own. But I'm hungry as fuck, and I don't care. And he's gonna be eating it traditional style with the fork and the spoon. I'm just gonna be eating it with the fork. I don't have enough dexterity right now for 2 whole utensils. Oh, I lost you. The sitaw. It tastes like my childhood. Like the soy sauce, the vinegar, the green beans. Like it tastes like being like 4 years old and sitting on the counter in the kitchen and eating sitaw from my mom's hand while she cooks. Like one thing that I hear a lot about people who are like extremely picky or they have ARFID or whatever is like, oh, that doesn't exist in third world countries. They just eat what they're handed. And it's like, it does exist. We just have different tastes. Like, soy sauce and vinegar on rice with sitaw, that was a safe food. I didn't even fuck with meat for like years of my life. But this was like a comfort food for me growing up. Like I literally feel like a healing spell has been casted upon me. Like chicken adobo is the ultimate Filipino healing potion. Because I had previously been feeling super duper tired and low energy. And now, I think after a little bit of a chill down, I can continue on with my day. But yeah, one of these 2 cups holds an entire ass meal. Each of these contains like half a cup of green beans, or sitaw, 5 little potatoes, and 1 chicken thigh. Throw a little half-cup cube of rice on there. That's a complete meal. Finally, I was feeling energized enough to edit, and I understand that editing might seem like really lazy work because it's just sitting on your ass and being creative, which I like being creative, don't get me wrong, but editing takes so much out of me because I have to just consume content about myself and how I look and how I sound, and I hate it. This is my least favorite part. Fortunately, my partner, who was extremely awesome and handsome and good at driving, was like, hey, I think you need a treat. So we went to the store and we got a treat. It was dope. Thus, I was energized enough to go back to editing, which, by the way, totally not sponsored, but of all the video editing software that I've used over the years, I do actually like CapCut Pro the best. It's easy, it's intuitive, I like the interface, it's dope. But it's still exhausting. Editing is still exhausting. It is still my least favorite part of generating video content. So I took me a little cornfield drive. Just look at this shit. I mean, like, come on. Like, corn, forest, fucking, yes, I will be the first one on record to say that living in rural Indiana is boring as fuck in terms of topography, but it's also beautiful. So then I decided to go to the thrift. It was homecoming, so there were a lot of different dresses, I think is why. Fell in love with this, like faux crushed velvet, purple, amazing. I've also been trying to collect more nightgowns lately. This one was pretty decent. It reminded me of like Courtney Love's vintage nightgown collection. I was really into it. Looking a little big for me, and it had some blemishes, but your girl can sew. And another thing that I like to do when I go to the thrift is look for black tees, specifically, in case there's a band one. I'm stuck waiting for a train to pass because welcome to the Rust Belt. You just get stuck waiting for trains for your whole life and your whole life and your whole life. So while I'm waiting for this shit, may as well show y'all what I decided to get. Just a regular black house dress, totally plain. I think I'm gonna put a patch over it so that it becomes like a band house dress. I did end up getting the purple velvet dress. I really don't know what I want to do with that yet, but I'm gonna do something. And then, of course, as I showed, I'm gonna fix that and I'm going to make that a house dress. I'm gonna get rid of the long sleeves and I'm gonna make it a short sleeves house dress. So, train's done, gotta go be safe. After I got home, I wrote down everything, not only that I had bought, but also some other pieces that I had wanted to make some modifications to because I thought it might be a cool idea to do an upcycling video with all of this stuff. Just teach everyone some basic sewing skills and how to improve at the thrift. Then I had my favorite food, pasta, just plain. I don't really put shit on it, and I don't have to, which is fine. And then I got to putting my clothes on the drying rack. We don't have a dryer. We haven't had one in like 5 years or so, and we haven't really needed one because everything is just fine. It air dries. And by that point, I was tired. This wasn't really like a day off for me. I just stayed doing a bunch of stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna make another day in the life. We'll see. Stick around. Who knows? Okay, bye.